Team Poland has finally got its hands on that elusive United Cup title, but ironically, Iga Świątek was the only one on her team that took an L on the finals.
Coco Gauff just beat the world's best player. She took down Iga Świątek in straight sets, saved 4 breakpoints in the opening game, and looked absolutely unstoppable. Team USA should be celebrating right now. Instead, they're packing their bags and heading home. Poland knocked out the defending champions despite Gauff's heroics, and fans can't believe what just happened. Which hurt more? Gauff's brilliance being wasted or Fritz losing the match that actually mattered? Drop your take below. Let's get one thing straight right from the start. Coco Gauff showed up. She did her job.
Coco Gauff is still going strong on that mission to turn the head-to-head around against Iga Świątek after she scored her 4th consecutive straight sets win over the Polish woman.
She beat Iga Świątek, the world number 2, in straight sets. 6-4, 6-2. She saved 4 breakpoints in the very first game, which could have completely derailed her momentum, and instead turned that pressure into fuel. She broke Świątek twice in the first set, then absolutely demolished her in the second set, racing to a 5-0 lead before closing it out. This wasn't some fluky win either. This was Gauff's 4th consecutive head-to-head victory over Świątek at WTA level. 4 in a row. Only one other player, Aryna Sabalenka, has managed that feat against Świątek. So when people talk about Gauff's potential, about her being the future of American tennis, this is exactly what they mean. She rises to the occasion against elite competition. But here's the cruel reality of team competitions. Individual brilliance doesn't matter if your teammates can't back you up. And unfortunately for Gauff and Team USA, Taylor Fritz and the mixed doubles team couldn't get it done when it mattered most.
So after losing in the finals for the past few years, Team Poland has finally won its maiden United Cup title. They defeated Team Switzerland 2-1 on Sunday. Team Switzerland, they started its tie with an early advantage after Belinda Bencic took out Iga Świątek 3-6, 6-love, 6-3. Świątek did look a bit sharper at the start of this match compared to when she lost to Coco Gauff in the semifinals.
The United Cup format is simple but unforgiving. Each tie consists of 2 singles matches and 1 mixed doubles match. Win 2 out of 3 and you advance. Lose 2 out of 3 and you're done. No matter how spectacular your victory started with Hubert Hurkacz absolutely dismantling Taylor Fritz in straight sets. And when I say dismantling, I mean it was a masterclass in serving and tiebreak execution. The final score was 7-6, 7-1, 7-6, 7-2. Look at those tiebreak scores. Fritz didn't just lose close tiebreaks, he got destroyed in them. Neither player could break serve throughout the entire match, which sounds competitive until you realize that Hurkacz was always in control. He held his serves comfortably while constantly applying pressure on Fritz's service games. Then, when it came to the tiebreaks, the moments where mental toughness and big point execution matter most, Hurkacz turned into a different player. In the first set tiebreak, Hurkacz won 7-1. 7-1. That's not a competitive tiebreak, that's a statement. In the second set tiebreak, same story, 7-2. Fritz had chances to extend the match, chances to give his team some breathing room, and he couldn't capitalize on any of them. What makes Hurkacz's performance even more impressive is that he's coming back from injury. This wasn't supposed to be vintage Hurkacz. He's supposed to be working his way back into form, shaking off the rust, finding his rhythm. Instead, he looked like he never left, and he's now won 10 singles matches at the United Cup, tying him with Fritz for 3rd most all-time at the event. Only Świątek has more with 15. So after the singles matches, it was 1-1. Gauff had delivered for Team USA. Fritz had let them down. Everything came down to the mixed doubles, and this is where things got really painful for American fans. Jan Zielinski and Katarzyna Kawa represented Poland. Coco Gauff, fresh off her huge win over Świątek, partnered with Christian Harrison for Team USA. On paper, you'd think Gauff's momentum and confidence would carry over. You'd think the Americans would feed off her energy and close it out. Nope. Poland won 7-6, 7-5, 7-6, 7-3. Once again, the match went to tiebreaks. Once again, Poland executed better in the crucial moments. The first set tiebreak was close, 7-5, but Poland held their nerve. The second set tiebreak wasn't close at all, 7-3. Just like Fritz before them, Gauff and Harrison couldn't deliver when it mattered most. And just like that, the defending United Cup champions were eliminated. In a rematch of last year's final, Poland got their revenge. Team USA, despite having Coco Gauff playing the best tennis of her life, couldn't advance to the final. The cruel irony is that Świątek had the chance to seal Poland's victory herself. If she had beaten Gauff in that second singles match, Poland would have won 2-0 and the mixed doubles wouldn't have even mattered. But Gauff wasn't having it. She went out there and proved once again that she's capable of beating anyone on any given day. That's 4 straight wins now for Gauff over Świątek. Think about what that means for a second. Świątek is a multiple Grand Slam champion. She's been ranked #1 in the world. She's one of the most dominant players of this generation, particularly on clay. And Gauff has beaten her 4 times in a row. The pattern in Gauff's victory was clear from the opening game. Those 4 breakpoints she saved weren't just about good serves or lucky net chords. They were about mental toughness. Świątek came out aggressive, trying to set the tone early, and Gauff refused to blink. She fought off every challenge, held serve, and immediately put Świątek on the defensive. Once Gauff secured that crucial first hold, the momentum shifted completely. She started attacking Świątek's serve with more confidence, moving her around the court and forcing errors. The 2 breaks in the first set didn't come from Świątek collapsing. They came from Gauff elevating her game and taking control of the rallies. The second set was even more dominant. Racing to a 5-0 lead against someone of Świątek's caliber isn't easy. It requires sustained excellence, shot after shot, game after game. Gauff was in the zone, playing aggressive tennis while keeping her unforced errors low. She was seeing the ball well, moving well, and executing her game plan perfectly. But in team competitions, heroics from one player aren't enough. You need depth. You need multiple players stepping up. And unfortunately for Team USA, they didn't have that against Poland. Taylor Fritz has been a solid player for years. He's been Team USA's most reliable male singles player for a while now. But when you stack up his United Cup record, it's revealing. He's won 10 singles matches total at the event, which sounds good until you realize that's exactly the same as Hurkacz, and both trail Świątek significantly. The bigger issue is when Fritz has won those matches versus when he's lost them. He's been great against lower-ranked opponents and decent against mid-tier competition, but against elite players in high-pressure moments, he's struggled to get over the hump. And that's exactly what happened against Hurkacz. Hurkacz isn't just some random player either. At his best, he's a top 10 player who can compete with anyone. His serve is one of the biggest weapons in tennis, and his baseline game has improved dramatically over the years. The fact that he's coming back from injury and still playing at this level should worry everyone who has to face him at the Australian Open in a couple weeks. The tie-break execution from Poland was absolutely clinical. In high-pressure situations, when every point feels magnified, Poland's players consistently made the right decisions. They served big when they needed to. They attacked when opportunities arose. They defended when necessary. That's championship-level mental toughness. Team USA, by contrast, seemed to tighten up in those crucial moments. Fritz's tie-break performances were particularly disappointing. Losing 7-1 and 7-2 suggests he wasn't just slightly outplayed. He was overwhelmed. The pressure got to him, and he couldn't execute his game plan when it mattered most. For Poland, this victory has to feel incredible. They lost to Team USA in last year's final, so this was a chance for redemption. And they got it in the semifinals, which might actually feel even sweeter than winning a final because they eliminated the defending champions before they could even reach the title match. Now Poland advances to face Switzerland in the final, and that's going to be a fascinating matchup. Switzerland knocked out Belgium in their semifinal, and they did it largely on the back of Belinda Bencic, who has been absolutely carrying her team throughout this tournament. Bencic beat Elise Mertens in her singles match, then partnered with Jakob Paul to win the deciding mixed doubles. This is becoming a pattern for Switzerland. Bencic accounts for 68.8% of Switzerland's total match victories at the United Cup since the event started in 2023. That's 11 out of 16 total wins. She's not just contributing, she's basically the entire team. The parallel between Bencic and Gauff is striking. Both are elite players carrying significant weight for their countries. Both have delivered when it mattered most. The difference is that Bencic's teammates managed to support her just enough to get Switzerland over the line, while Gauff's teammates couldn't do the same. What makes this United Cup elimination even more frustrating for American tennis fans is the timing. The Australian Open starts in just over a week. This was supposed to be the perfect preparation event. Get some competitive matches in, build team chemistry, gain confidence heading into the first Grand Slam of the year. For Gauff, mission accomplished. She's playing incredible tennis. She's beating top players. She should head to Melbourne with loads of confidence. Her game is clicking on all cylinders. Her serve is solid. Her ground strokes are finding their targets. Her movement is sharp. She's ready for a deep Grand Slam run. But for Fritz and the men's side of Team USA, there are serious questions. If you can't win tie-breaks against Hurkacz, how are you going to handle the pressure of a 5-set match against Djokovic, or Sinner, or Alcaraz at the Australian Open? The tie-break struggles are particularly concerning because tie-breaks are essentially a test of mental toughness and big-point execution. When both players are holding serve comfortably, the tie-break becomes the decider, and you need to be able to raise your level. Fritz couldn't do it. Gauff and Harrison couldn't do it in the mixed doubles either. There's also something to be said about team chemistry and cohesion. Poland looked like a unified team that believed in each other. Even when Świątek lost to Gauff, which had to be devastating since she could have sealed the victory herself, the team rallied around each other and closed it out in the mixed doubles. Team USA, by contrast, seemed disjointed. Gauff did her thing, which was spectacular, but there didn't seem to be that same sense of collective belief or team unity. Maybe that's reading too much into it. Maybe it's just that Poland's players performed better in the key moments. But in team competitions, those intangibles can make a difference. The silver lining for Gauff is that her individual performance was so strong that it should vault her even higher in people's estimations heading into the Australian Open. Beating Świątek 4 times in a row is a legitimate accomplishment. It's not a fluke. It's not a lucky draw. It's Gauff proving she belongs in conversations about the best players in the world. But man, it has to sting to play that well and still go home empty-handed. That's the nature of team competitions, though. Your fate is tied to your teammates, and if they can't match your level, you all suffer together. The mixed doubles loss was perhaps the most crushing because it came after Gauff had just delivered such an enormous win. She had to quickly shift from singles mode to doubles mode, partner with Harrison, and try to close out the tie. The momentum from her singles victory couldn't carry over, and Poland's doubles team was simply better when it counted. For Poland and Switzerland, the final is going to be a battle. Both teams have elite players carrying significant weight. Both teams have proven they can win tight matches, and both teams will be playing with confidence after knocking out strong opponents in the semifinals. Team USA, meanwhile, heads home as defending champions who couldn't defend their title. The weight of expectations, the pressure of being favorites, and the inability to deliver in crucial moments combined to create a perfect storm of disappointment. They'll need to regroup quickly, refocus, and get ready for the Australian Open. Coco Gauff beat Iga Świątek and still went home. That's team sports in the cruelest form. If you think Gauff deserved better teammates, hit that like button. If you're just here to watch Poland celebrate their revenge, smash subscribe. Either way, the United Cup final is set, and Team USA won't be in it despite having the tournament's best individual performance.